Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and I'm here today with Mike Mumford, who's the general manager of Brand G Vacations. And what is Brand G Vacations? Well, it specializes in LGBTQ plus vacations it looks like almost every destination I can think of. But we're going to talk to Mike about that and also look at what's to come for 2026. And you'll find out about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Mike, first of all, great to see you. First of all, where are you located?
I'm actually based in Houston, Texas, so in the South.
Okay, and the company itself is all over the place, or where is it? Where's the
Yep,
headquarters?
our team members span really from coast to coast, so Southern California up to Dayton, Ohio.
Fantastic. Now, give us a little bit of the history of Brand G Vacations. I understand it started way back in 2011, right?
It did. Brand G Vacations was founded by LGBTQ plus travel veterans Charlie Rounds and Brian Van Way, and they believed there was a gap in the market for high-end luxury travel experiences for LGBTQ plus travelers and their allies. So they initially started by offering European river cruises and then expanded to other areas,
Mhm.
including Vietnam and Cambodia's Mekong River. They were very wise in recruiting fellow LGBTQ travel veteran Jeff Gunvaldson. All of them had worked together at RSVP Vacations. And then Jeff helped lead the company uh, through the next 15 years of growth into
Mhm.
many new destinations and offering many more people the opportunity to travel this way. I actually learned about Brand G Vacations at one of their events, a party. And after learning about Brand G, my husband and I traveled with them on several river cruises before I ultimately decided to join them.
Well, that's usually what happens. You enjoy the travel and you see what they can do. But the LGBTQ market has long been a very lucrative market, especially in the upscale space. But you're right. I mean, there are only a few operators that I know that identify as that, and it probably needed a company that could do this, right?
Absolutely. There was definitely a need for it.
Now, to tell us a little bit about the market that Brand G Vacations, it's in the entire LGBTQ plus community. Who is your target customer?
That's a great question. It is the person who is looking for really a virtually all-inclusive experience. And so our pricing includes arrival transfers and
Mhm.
departure transfers. So basically, from the time you land at the destination till the time you leave, uh, drinks are included in the package, the excursions are included, and it's an audience that's looking for a luxurious experience.
Okay.
Because of that, our the average age of our traveler is 59 years old. They tend to be a little older because of the luxury aspect and also the time away that many of our trips require. And then our guests are often very adventurous, looking to visit less traveled destinations, and they're always culturally respectful and inquisitive.
And also a high net worth, I would think, given the stuff that you are selling, which is pretty
Yes,
upscale.
yes.
Yeah. Now, what are your main destinations? I said you literally cover the globe just because I looked at your website. It just seemed like you had trips everywhere. Some places I'm very familiar with, but talk a little bit about the main destinations and what you offer.
Sure. One of the focuses of our trips is to have all-inclusive experiences. And so oftentimes we look for places where we can create those inclusive experiences, and that may be on a river cruise ship,
Hmm.
that may be in a full safari camp. And our trips range from European river cruises on a number of different rivers throughout Europe, as well as rivers in Asia, the Ganges River in India, or the Mekong River in Vietnam and Cambodia, the Nile River in Egypt,
Hmm.
and then in South America, the Amazon River in Peru. And then we also offer land tours and other destinations where river cruising really isn't an option, such as
Right.
New Zealand or Japan. So they really do cover the gamut of locations. always with a focus on creating an all-inclusive experience.
Now, with these destinations and with the cruises that you're offering, how do you make sure they're LGBTQ friendly and how to make sure your guests feel comfortable and safe?
Yeah, well, that's extremely important. We do choose destinations that are off the beaten path, but we always work with tour operators, hotel operators, cruise operators that have been vetted for inclusivity, and they understand that our group is an LGBTQ plus group, and locally we look for places that while they may not be always very progressive in laws toward the LGBT community, we're making sure that that they're safe places that we can take our groups.
Well, increasingly, I'm seeing very that there are many destinations that are catering to the LGBTQ market and also making sure that they know that those customers and those guests are welcome. So that's a good thing. I keep seeing more and more of that, which is excellent. I mean, I see South Africa, I see, different parts of Europe, Thailand, all these different destinations that sort of have come forward and said, yeah, we are very friendly to gay and lesbian
Yes.
travelers, right?
Yes, absolutely. And our guests on our trips rarely, if ever, even feel a hint of social stigma. There's always kind of an inquisitive nature
Mm,
from locals, primarily about many of our groups are predominantly men. And so
mm.
locals may say, "Oh, is this a men's travel club?" Or "You look like you all get along really well. Have you been traveling for decades together?" And then are surprised to learn that we just met a few days earlier than that as a collective group.
Well, and that's the, it's one of the marks of LGBTQ travel that groups form pretty quickly and they also enjoy traveling together.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, how do you, what is the tip? You've said that you look for all-inclusive trips. What does the typical Brand G trip include? You said transfers. And how many guests are part of that group? And let's talk a little bit about everything about the group, the accommodations, the modes of transport, the sightseeing,
Sure.
tour guides, everything. What is a typical Brand G vacations trip?
Sure. As I mentioned, we want a trip that can be inclusive and intimate. So our group sizes range anywhere from about 25 guests for our Mongolian land tour or our New Zealand land tour, all the way up to 160 guests for our luxury ocean charters. And so the group size is really dictated based on the destination and the inclusive experiences that we've curated. When it comes to hotels for our land components of our tours, we always look for hotels that are 4.5 to 5 star hotels, and the 4.5 comes in. Some of the destinations we go to, the nicest hotel is a 4.5 star hotel.
Yeah, I know. When
Uh,
those more exotic places, you have to go with the four-star, which might actually in other countries, especially in Asia, four-star hotels are fine.
Yes, absolutely. And when we have touring that includes the use of buses, we always make sure the buses are not fully allocated. And that way, guests who want a little bit more space have that option. Those couples that want to sit next to each other always can do that. But sometimes even couples want to spread out when we're on a sightseeing tour so that both of them can have a window seat. Uh,
Now, yeah, and then you include these are guided. Some or many of them are guided vacations, right?
Oh, absolutely. We use local guides on all of our tours, and they're vetted for their knowledge of the destination and their inclusivity for a wide variety of guests. So included in all of our tours are uh, those local guided experiences and sightseeing.
And you also have hosts. I think you might have been a host, if I recall, if I saw your resume for one of
Yep.
these trips, right?
Yeah, all of our trips include Brangie hosts to make sure that each of our guests get a high level of service, and it allows us to get to know our guests, to get to know their individual needs, and to make sure they're taken care of throughout the trip. So I host trips as well as my colleagues, and that's one of the things that sets us apart. When you call our office, you'll not only be talking to someone who knows the product and knows the experience, but you're likely talking to someone who will travel with guests on those trips.
Well, not too bad to have the general manager of the company traveling as a host with you, right?
Absolutely.
There are going to be if there are problems, they'll be resolved very quickly, right?
That's right. And actually, every one of us is empowered to take care of issues as they come up. There's no one better to do it than one of our hosts on the ground, so that we always say we want to make the trip right during your trip, not make it right after your trip's concluded.
Absolutely. Now, your company has a reputation as kind of one of the best and largest tour operators catering to the LGBTQ plus market. How have you managed to keep up that reputation, and why is the company different maybe than some of the others in the market?
Yeah, well, it's never easy to maintain your place in the market. And so we take pride in ensuring that we know our guests. And the number of repeat guests we get is something that we're very proud of. And our reputation really comes from our service first philosophy, our attention to detail, and offerings that are diverse and ever evolving. Um, it's really a combination of our luxury, the inclusivity, the personal service, and the distinctive destinations that make it kind of a sense of community. And then we're also proud that we give back to the communities that we work in and that support us. So we give back in local communities throughout America to charitable organizations that support the LGBT
Right.
community, and then locally in destination, we give back. And we're proud to say that our philanthropic commitments have well surpassed $1 million and include building a school in India, helping to provide clean water in Africa, and supporting an orphanage in Cambodia.
No, those are all laudable, and it does go with the trend toward more sustainable tourism that is really recognizing the communities that we all travel in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I understand. Obviously, we talked about you do a lot of cruise travel, river cruise, and now you say ocean cruise. Now, obviously, you are either chartering out or getting a portion of these ships. What are kind of some of the products that you focus with, and who do you partner with?
Well, it's a great question. Even our ocean going trips are full ship charters. So we
Okay.
focus on luxury ocean going ships from Atlas, such as their World Traveler, or Swan Hellenic's Diana and Vega,
They're
or
very
Ponant's.
nice ships, all of them. Yeah.
Yes, yes, they're all very five-star ships with five-star meals and accommodations, and then it allows us to keep the group size intimate as well. We feel like 160 travelers on those ships is a really good number, and that number comes from the combination of solo travelers who join us, as well as those traveling with a spouse or partner or just a friend.
What about the rivers? Who do you partner with there on those brands?
It varies based on destination, but in Europe we use Amadeus. We also use Ama Waterways. In Egypt we use Ama Waterways. So it varies based on destination, but we've had a long-standing relationship with Amadeus, and they do an incredible job of taking care of the LGBT traveler and allowing us to tailor the trips for our guests.
Well, they certainly have beautiful new ships. I was lucky enough to stay on one last year during the Asta River Cruise Expo conference, and I'd been on them, I toured them, but I'd never stayed on one. And I think that's a
Yeah.
very good. And obviously, Amma Waterways is honored around the travel agency community as being one of the best ones. So you've chosen wisely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's new for 2026 for both your tour products and your cruises.
Sure. We have many destinations that we go to and offer annually, and then we have other destinations that are, one-time sailings or experiences that we can offer. So in 2026, we're offering a Panama to Belize cruise. We have an Athens to Barcelona cruise, and one of the cruises I'm especially excited about is our Skeleton Coast, so West African cruise from Luanda through Namibia and the Skeleton Coast National Park, and it finishes in beautiful Cape Town. And then in 2027, we're offering a Baltic cruise, a Greek Isles and Turkey cruise, and a French Polynesia cruise. So our luxury ocean-going products vary from year to year, and each of these destinations that I mentioned are new. And then for land tours, we have always had very good experiences in Japan, so always offer Japan. But we've also added Argentina, Australia, Sri Lanka, and Ireland to our land tour package. And then in 2027, we're excited to offer our first private jet itinerary
Oh, and
where
that's
we
not that's a big ticket item too, I'm sure.
Yes, it is. We've chartered a 50-seat private jet with all lay flat seats for an over-the-top tour of Africa that includes Namibia, Zimbabwe, Madagascar, and gorilla trekking in Rwanda. So we're really excited to be able to offer that.
No, those are some very high end and very beautiful places, and also exotic and not easy to get to without a cruise
Right.
or without a group tour.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, the key for us, I mean, we go out to about 125,000 travel advisors now. How do you work with advisors to kind of either select and develop the best trips for their LGBTQ plus clients?
Yeah, we work with travel advisors all over the world, and Uh, what we're proud of is many advisors are looking for trips and destinations that will be comfortable for their clients. And when they learn more about our offerings and uh, what we do to keep LGBT travelers safe and have a rich experience, they're always excited uh, to leverage Brand G Vacations for
Mhm.
their clients. To your point, we take feedback from past guests as well as advisors on future destinations. A lot of times travel advisors have a pulse on where people want to go that may be off the beaten path, and maybe they've called us and said, we have people that would really like to see Mongolia. Do you have an offering? And the answer is we do. And if we don't, sometimes those are tours that we work on developing, or we have experience with the destination from trying to develop a tour, but haven't been able to just because of logistics or local situations. And we'll share that information with the travel advisor as well. There's some destinations that a LGBTQ couple can be safe at, but maybe not a group of 50. And we'll just share
Mhm.
that insight with the agent as well.
Now, where can travel advisors go to find out more about Brand G Vacations and also how to sell it?
Yeah, our website is the best resource, and you can find that at brandgvacations.com. We have a link on that site for agents, and if they click the agent link, they can learn more about being an agent and selling through us. And then our office is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central. So you can call anytime during those hours and just bounce questions off us. And those questions could be about working with us as an agent, about our destinations, or about specific guest needs that the agent is trying to solve for.
Well, Mike, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us about Brand G Vacations. It certainly sounds like if you want to go upscale and luxury with your travels with your LGBTQ plus guests, this is the place to go. And also river cruises, ocean cruises, and very exotic locations. The minute you say Mongolia, I'm thinking exotic because I have yet to go, but I've recently found a tour operator to Mongolia as well, and he was like trying to get me to go. Now I want to go. So it's great. And also river cruising obviously is hot. The ships you mentioned are really top of the line for any whether it's Antarctica or anywhere else in the world. They do amazing jobs. So again, thank you for taking the time, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, James.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.